So here we are over at our new module, and we have Chapter 7 Examples Continued. And here we've got the variable length arguments replet. So I'm going to go ahead and click through to that. And what I can tell you is, again, it's a very simple addition to the way it is that we would set up a function here inside of Java. We just include, like you see here, the int ... and what that is going to intimate to Java is that, hey, look, you are going to receive integers, and you're going to refer to them as an array called numbers, and Java is going to say how many, and you're going to go, I don't know, a different amount, and Java's going to say, hey, great, I got you. So over here, starting on line 6, what we are going to do is we are going to start passing arguments to our VarArg accepting public static int sum. So that's the name of our function there, is sum. So here, result equals sum, and we're going to pass it 2 arguments. I'm just going to go ahead and run this in the meantime. Here on line 10, I'm going to pass sum 4 arguments. Here on 14, I'm going to pass it 5 arguments. And here on line 17, we're going to go crazy, and we're going to pass it 10 arguments. And what you can see is, over here in our output window, that when we pass it 2 arguments, that's fine. When we pass it 4 arguments rather, that's fine. When we pass it 10 arguments, that's fine. Because what Java does with the arguments that we pass over to sum is it puts them into an array. So we can tell that it's an array because I have an enhanced for loop here, and remember, enhanced for loops are for use with arrays. So this says that, look, for every iteration you take through the array, for every element that you come through, you are going to assign the value that's in that element of the array to val. And you'll remember last week I said, hey, look, it's an industry shortcut to call them val for values. Here we see it again. And you're going to iterate through numbers to get there. So a variable argument list is really just an array that you don't have to specify. It's an array by another name. So Java does all of the heavy lifting for you here. So that's pretty great. What I'll tell you is, in practice, this does work pretty well, but you don't see it a ton because developers don't typically like this much ambiguity. So you're going to tell me as a developer, you're going to pass me numbers for which I am supposed to sum them, and the client is going to say, yeah, that's what we want to do, and your developer is going to say, how many numbers, and the client is going to say, I don't know, and then you say, well, can't we just assume that it's an array, and I'll build you an array of a size that you're never going to fill up all of, and then here in sum is going to take an array, and they're going to say, no, I'd really rather just leave it up to chance here, and you're going to say, fine, we can build it as a variable argument list. That's fine. That's not necessarily something you're going to really want to do a ton. So this certainly exists. You won't use it a bunch because this breaks your internal mandate for controlling all that you can as a developer. But like you see on page 470, this is the variable argument list.